when you have a big win, like, what do you do?
I think the only advice I can give you is don't blow your load too quick.
Yeah. You put out $1,000 and then like you waste $1,000. You're just spinning the hamster wheel.
Block out the noise, focus, and do it the right way. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Winners Club podcast, where even when we don't win, we learn, and learning is a form of winning. I'm your host, Brian Tran. I got my co-host here, PJ Padua.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Another fire episode, guys. PJ, hit off the topic today.
Yo, we're just gonna talk, man. We're gonna have a conversation. I have a lot of stuff on my mind, and I feel like this will just help with a lot of stuff that's going on around us, honestly. And I think a lot of people get some value. So, and by the way, guys, I look like shit. I didn't do my hair, fucking super big t-shirt. So don't listen to the MP3 version, okay? But I just want to talk about I want to talk about momentum, like life balance, enjoying, right? Because we've been talking a lot about that, right? Like pushing towards your goals, like keeping your head down, but at the same time still enjoying, right? But you know, there is also a balance of like you need to deserve and earn those times to like smell the roses. You know what I mean? So first, I want to talk about, man, like what do you think when you have momentum, right? Like what do you like when you have a big win? How do you feel like you should treat that win and like celebrate it? Like, do you keep pushing? Like, what is when you have a big win? Like, what do you do?
Depends on where I'm at in life and where does it line up with my goals and my vision. So, for example, I think every day is a big win. I mean, after my scar and all this stuff, like, dude, every day that I wake up is a big win.
Hell yeah.
Okay?
100%.
But I take it for a couple seconds and I'm like, look, boom, let's keep it going. But let's move it on to something bigger. Okay? When we close a big flip.
Yeah.
And we make the target, right? I celebrate maybe quickly, right? We enjoy the win. Boom, we're excited. Maybe do a dinner. Back at it.
There you go, man. That's what I wanted to hear, man. Like,
because the thing is, like, that one win doesn't hit my. It's not like my goal.
Yeah.
It is a necessary win to reach my goal. So I celebrate it, but I don't just like take a whole week off, a whole month off, and be like, oh my God, I did it, I made it.
Yeah.
No,
for sure. It's like a stepping stone, a part of like your big goal, right? And it's like important to, give a little bit of celebration, right? Because you don't want to just be like, oh, I didn't do enough. Like,
well,
I just closed this deal.
Okay,
let's go.
I want to make $100,000 a year.
Yes.
I just closed a flip. I made $10,000.
Yeah.
Great. I'm 10% of the way there. Does that constitute me taking like a whole week off?
No.
Probably not, right?
Shouldn't, at least.
Because they only constitute for 10% of where I wanted to get to. So I'll have a good dinner. Maybe I'll take, I'll spend a small fragment of it, right? The rest goes to taxes and so on and so forth. And then that way you can at least feel like, hey, this is what I'm working for. I get a little bit of a taste of it.
Yeah.
But I'm not there. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Right? And I've struggled with this since the beginning of my career. I don't know when to stop. I really don't.
Yeah, I get you, man.
I still don't.
Yeah.
Right? Call it a curse, call it a burden, whatever it is. But I think that honestly, it helped me. It helped me continue to stack and win and eventually look back and say, okay, now I can finally take a break.
Yeah.
So there's no right or wrong answer. I think the only advice I can give you is don't blow your load too quick.
Yeah.
That's the only, that's really, and that's for you to determine, right? I don't know your business. I don't know your financial situation. I don't know where you are. And so for me, it's better to be safe.
Yeah.
Don't spend all of it. Don't take too long of a break and continue keeping your head down and keep going until you reach all your dreams and desire in terms of like your housing, your family, you're not worried about money on a day-to-day, and then you can go blow it.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think that's amazing advice. I mean, coming from somebody, who's been in the game for about like 10 years plus, build a business here, 2 or 3 or 4, you know what I'm saying? So, this idea really came to me because, I'm seeing like a lot of the new realtors who just started like 2-3 months ago, like get their first deal, right? Like Joel and Ashley, right? I'm seeing them. They got their first deal. They're cooking right now. And I was just thinking like, man, like I just want to see them like push more. So it's just like, I think that celebrating at the moment and then that 24-hour rule where it's like, all right, tomorrow's a new day. Like,
so with them, I can actually give a little bit more insight.
Let's do it then.
Okay. I'm sure they're cool with me sharing this because this is something that's going to help everyone. They're young.
Yeah. They're hustlers.
Yeah. They're 20, 21, something like that. And, they want to move out. They want to have a reserve. they want to, invest back into the business and go full time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't really afford to celebrate your first deal, your second deal, your third deal. Now, you can celebrate in a way that's free.
Yeah.
Like, we'll go and hang out or something like that. But you can't go on a trip to Hawaii.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't go on a trip to Mexico.
For sure. The work's not done yet.
No, well, not only that. Like, let's say you make $5,000, you're gonna blow $5,000.
Yeah,
or like, let's say you make $10,000. Well, even realistically, you make $10,000.
Yeah,
taxes take a good chunk. You're only left with like half.
Yeah.
Okay, we're in California, so what are you gonna do? Spend that at half on Hawaii?
Yeah,
and be like, I deserve this. I closed my first deal. No, fool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like, your goals are to move out. Your goals are to have a 6-month reserve. Your goal is to have XXX, right? Those all require money. So guess what? You got to learn to celebrate with zero money.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay? Then maybe after you close, for example, for them, I think a one-bedroom apartment would probably hit them for about $3,000, $3,500.
Yeah.
So you need 6-month reserve. So call that 3 times 6, 18,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you got to make sure that you have runway for your business, food and all that stuff. Call it another $3,000. So you need 36,000 saved up before you can really go and blow it.
Yeah.
And by blow it, I mean, even then, I don't expect you to go on like a Europe or Mexico or international trip. Maybe go on a little weekend getaway.
Hell yeah.
Spend $1,000.
Yeah.
Or maybe like $800, something like that.
Yeah. Yo, we say this because we're excited and we see the momentum and we just want you to win, like celebrate, like Brian says, like celebrate these wins, however you can, right? They're important, right? But the real party is going to be when you guys move out and you hit that big goal that's written on your whiteboard, like full-time realtor, move out, move to the peninsula. Like that's when we're all going to party. So to anybody who's making small wins right now, but it's not the big goal, like, hey, do a little celebration, 24 hours, let's get another deal. Let's make some more movements and let's plant some more seeds,
But even taking breaks, this applies to taking breaks. Like people will be like, oh, well, how many days should I take off? I'm like, days?
Yeah.
You didn't hit your goals, buddy.
Yeah.
You better take time off.
Yeah, maybe you do a little system. Hey, 5 wins is like a little 2-day break.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. But I want to talk about enjoying, man, like enjoying the journey, right? Because it's hard, man. Like, especially if you have big goals, right? Like, it only gets harder if the goal is bigger. Like, if I'm like, oh, shit, I'm going to make 10 million. Today's day 1, right? 3 months pass. Like, it's only a little bit of a chip.
Yeah.
Right? So, I want to talk about, like, how do you think, like, with those, do you think it's super important, like, your energy, right? Every single day to just appreciate the small movements that you're doing. Like, it's like, hey, I made one call. Right. Hey, I did this. Well, let me just say some context.
But yeah,
I know. Let me say some context. Right. So I just heard this story, right, from Christiana, right? One of my girlfriends. Yo, hold up, bro. My girlfriend, right? So my girlfriend. All right, my girlfriend Christiana, right? So she has a client, right? And she's just started her journey. She has like a long way to go, but she's been crushing it, right? It's like 1 or 2 months, and she's really still like down on herself, right? Like, oh, like I don't want to go, lift the weights and do that. Like, how do I get better at like moving my, quote unquote depression to go lift the weights, right? And sometimes it's just like when I hear that, I'm like, why would you be so upset that, oh, I have a little bit more to go when you've gone and made progress already?
She doesn't want to lift weights until she loses a certain amount of weight?
I think so, right? Like, it's kind of that idea of like, I'm not going to be happy. Like, I'm not going to be happy until I lose 100 pounds, I'm not going to be happy until I make 100 mil, like that kind of idea. Like, what is your thoughts on that?
No, you should be happy the whole way.
Yeah.
As long as you're moving towards the direction that you want to go in, you should be pretty damn happy.
Yeah.
Now, especially with losing weight, I think that's a good analogy that you brought up. The reason why you can't celebrate your win, and then obviously in losing weight, the way you celebrate your win is you go out and you binge.
Yeah.
Or you get a cheat meal.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, a cheat meal that is calculated, right? Again, relating it back to like business. If you calculate how you celebrate, doesn't hurt as much.
Like a calculated rest day.
Yeah,
right?
For example, they'd be like, okay, well, you can have a cheat meal. You can have In-N-Out burger, fries, and a soda.
Yeah.
Call it like 1,500 calories. Okay, But what people mostly do is they'll go and they'll be like, well, I worked hard. I'm down 10 pounds. Let me go eat a cheat day.
Yeah.
Breakfast, pancakes, eggs, bacon,
syrup,
lunch, In-N-Out, fries, dirty animal style, whatever, dinner, steak, prime rib, okay. And then guess what happens? You gain all that 10-pound back.
There you go.
But the thing is, obviously, if you build muscles and stuff like that, you'll bounce back a little bit quicker. But you really do set yourself back significantly.
A lot. I mean, you can
by taking that big cheat meal, or in the case of business, taking days off, right? Whereas if you take time off or you celebrate where it's calculated, where okay, the commission check is 20 grand, and then you only blow $500. I mean, $500 is still a lot of money, but relative to $20,000, you're gonna be okay a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a better ratio.
I mean, it's the same thing of like, yo, you in the week you burn 1,500 calories. It's like, all right, Sunday I'm about to eat 4,000 calories. Like, makes no sense, right? Yeah. It makes no sense. It's like you're just overdoing, right?
I think that should give you guys a little clarity on my mindset on how you celebrate and how you kind of enjoy the journey, but now don't like put yourself too far back by trying to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just in a thing that's like, you put out $1,000 and then like you waste $1,000, you're just spinning the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well just enjoy the life at that point. You know what I mean?
So think about that, guys. Delayed gratification is one of the hardest things to do. It really is. But I mean, dude, like right now I want to buy a Ferrari so bad.
I want you to buy one so bad too, bro.
You know what I mean? Like there's hella cars I want to buy.
There's hella stuff I want to do, bro.
Yeah, I know there's a lot, but then even I'm holding back, and I'm like, that $200,000-$300,000 that I'm gonna cash out is for another flip, another apartment, another
another business,
6 Alabama properties,
who knows, or a Ferrari.
And it's crazy because then it really is, but it's like, dude, like last year I bought a bunch of properties, and I said, look, when I accumulate $6,000 in new income, I was gonna go buy the car, and then guess what happened?
You didn't do that.
Well, I ended up having to take care of my in-laws and then my grandma and stuff like that. So the money had to go somewhere else. And so this year I'm like, well, I gotta start over again. But I mean, you can afford it, but sometimes you gotta just delay and be like, look, I don't want to go into my active income. I want to pay for things with my passive income. So I gotta be patient too.
Yo, dude.
Yeah, but how I celebrate.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about I got a little SL 500. It's not
take the top down, we record something. Yeah, like that's like $0 right there.
Basically.
Yeah.
So you just enjoy. Yeah. You have to just learn to enjoy things differently. So when you do get that big car or that big item, dude, then you really feel it. You know, like,
for sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, for sure, bro. You wanted things to feel different. You know what I mean? Like, why work so hard just to feel the same thing?
But also, why work so hard just to keep working hard?
Yeah, that too. Man, we could just keep going, but
we still work hard. But I'll be honest, at least now I don't have to worry about like, oh my God, if I don't work, how the hell am I gonna put food on my table? You know? What I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's different.
Fire wings every day, baby.
Every day. So,
but I hope you guys like that, man. I mean, that gives a lot of insight to, obviously, Brian's, be killing it. So that mindset connected with you guys, like 10 Ferraris in the lot for sure.
I was talking to watching a YouTube yesterday. This guy was like, "This is how I spend my $55,000," and I was like, my monthly budget's kind of up there too. But I'm like, damn, when you're single, it's a lot different than when you freaking got kids, man. Yeah. I'm like a chunk of my thing goes to like kids and their family trips, and then my in-laws and my mom and stuff like that. Like, dude, I'm like, dude, I'm not living like that.
Hey, but you're a responsible man, and
try to be.
That means something. So, should we wrap it up, or what do you think?
I'm gonna wrap it up with one thing, guys. When you're on your grind and you're on your way up, just know that every dollar that you invest, every dollar that you put into yourself or into the business, trust me, it's coming. Your time is coming. Just understand that what you see on Instagram with these young 20-year-old kids and they got their Lambos and stuff like that, like, you don't understand the full story. You don't know what they're really going through. Yeah. They could be faking it. They could be on credit card debt.
Yeah.
Like, block out the noise, focus, and do it the right way, right? I'm not saying don't go into crypto or anything like that. If you understand it, great, do it. But for those of you guys who are on that, the path of just more of a traditional route like what I did, real estate, sales, stuff like that, put it back into the business first. 10 years of hard work, Promise you, you're gonna have everything you want in life.
Let's go. Hey, let's write your story, guys.
Let's go.
Peace.
Peace out.